So you think a USB-C cable is just for charging your phone? Yeah, that's what they want you to think. But if you're into DIY electronics or you're building out your EDC kit, you already know there's way more juice hiding in that cable. This little purple board right here, it's called the P31 Power Delivery Trigger. And it doesn't politely ask your charger for power. It straight up demands it. We're talking 28 volts from a standard plug-in brick. Is this the pocket-sized lab supply we've been waiting for, or are we about to cook some circuits? Stick around. Right off the bat, yeah, it's purple, and that's not just a vibe. The purple PCB is basically the badge that says, this is the new P31. If you've got the older models lying around, you'll never mix them up again. Size-wise, stupid small. We're talking 1.5 by 0.7 inches, maybe a third of an inch thick, weighs basically nothing, about 5.7 grams, lighter than a house key. Here's where they actually listen to feedback. They reinforce the USB-C port with thicker contacts. No more sketchy wobble after a month of use. Flip it over and the USB-A output now has this bright green core with a 5th contact pin. Soldering looks clean. Components are seated properly. This actually feels like a tool. Let's talk about why you're actually here. Power delivery 3.1 support. Most USB triggers tap out at 20 volts, right? Not this one. The P31 supports extended power range, or EPR if you're fancy. So if your charger can handle it, you can cycle through 5, 9, 12, 15, 20, and boom, 28 volts. Now, if you're into ham radio, bench testing, or repair work, you already know what this means. Testing a custom amp, powering a beefy Wi-Fi 6 router, no need to haul out your bench supply. This handles PoE plus switches, NAS drives, even some mini PCS, and it fits in your pocket. The interface, brain dead simple. 2 buttons, one goes up, one goes down. The little 3-digit display toggles between your voltage and your current draw. No app, no firmware updates, no hidden menu. You need a PhD to navigate. Just plug it in and start clicking. Okay, real talk. Let's discuss heat. This board is running completely naked. No case, no heatsink. So when you push it hard, it gets hot, like over 176 Fahrenheit. I ran a torture test at max spec, 28 volts, 5 amps, sustained for over an hour. The board lived. But here's the thing, there's no built-in thermal cutoff. So if you're pulling 140 watts for an extended period, you're gonna want some airflow. Maybe zip tie a little fan to it, or at least don't smother it inside a Pelican case. As for accuracy, I threw it up against a Wittern K2 USB tester, basically the standard for this kind of thing. The built-in display, honestly not bad. It's good enough for field work. The only knock is that switching between voltage profiles takes about 2 to 4 seconds, which is a touch slower than the older models. Not a deal breaker, but worth mentioning. Look, this isn't a Wriggle bench station. You're not getting programmable current limits or fancy logging, but for an EDC power solution, dude, this thing punches way above its weight class. If you work with modern electronics and you need 140 watts of flexible voltage in something that fits in your coin pocket, this is the move. Just one warning, your output is only as good as your input. If your charger doesn't support power delivery 3.1, you're not getting that 28 volt magic. So know your gear, double check your specs, and for the love of all that is holy, don't plug this into anything sketchy. If you want me to do a follow-up on the best power delivery 3.1 chargers to pair with this, drop a comment below. And if you're into teardowns and deep dives on gear like this, hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you in the next one.